Hey, welcome to our channel Former Times. Today's video about the Dark Ages, myths versus reality. Let's exploration of one of the most misunderstood periods in history, the so-called Dark Ages. Often portrayed as a time of ignorance, brutality, and cultural stagnation, this era has been shrouded in myth and misconception. But how much of what we believe is actually true? Join me as we uncover the myths and realities of the Dark Ages. Chapter 1. The Myth of Darkness. When people hear the term Dark Ages, they imagine a world plunged into chaos after the fall of the Roman Empire in 476 AD. According to popular belief, education disappeared. Scientific progress stopped, and Europe was consumed by war, plague, and superstition. But was it really all that dark? In reality, historians now reject the term Dark Ages because it unfairly paints the period as one of complete decline. Yes, Europe saw political instability and economic hardship, but it was also a time of transformation, innovation, and survival. Chapter 2. The Fall of Rome, a beginning, not an end. Many believe the fall of Rome marked the beginning of the Dark Ages, but in truth it was not an overnight collapse. Instead, it was a slow decline, with barbarian tribes like the Visigoths and Vandals gradually taking over Roman territories. Rather than bringing destruction, these new rulers adopted much of Roman culture. Latin remained the dominant language. Roman laws influenced governance, and Christianity spread widely under rulers like Charlemagne. Chapter 3. Learning and Innovation in the Dark Ages. One of the biggest myths is that knowledge disappeared. In truth, learning was preserved and even advanced in many areas. Monasteries became centers of knowledge where monks copied ancient texts, keeping Greek and Roman knowledge alive. Scientific progress continued, particularly in the Islamic world, where scholars in Baghdad's House of Wisdom made advances in medicine, astronomy, and mathematics. New architectural styles emerged, including Romanesque and early Gothic styles that paved the way for the grand cathedrals of the High Middle Ages. While Europe may not have matched the heights of ancient Rome, it was far from an age of ignorance. Chapter 4. Warfare and Society, More Than Just Chaos. The image of knights endlessly fighting in chaotic battles is another exaggerated myth. While warfare was common, so was diplomacy. The feudal system provided order, with lords protecting their lands and peasants farming the land in exchange for security. Additionally, the Vikings, often seen as ruthless invaders, were also skilled traders and explorers, traveling as far as North America and establishing settlements in England and France. Chapter 5. The Real Turning Point, the High Middle Ages. By the 11th century, Europe was no longer in darkness. Universities were founded in cities like Paris, Oxford, and Bologna. Trade routes flourished, connecting Europe with Asia and the Middle East. The invention of new agricultural techniques led to population growth, setting the stage for the Renaissance. Far from being a dark age, this period was a bridge between the ancient and modern worlds, laying the foundations for the intellectual revolutions that would follow. Rewriting the Dark Ages. So, were the Dark Ages truly dark? Not at all. They were an era of change, adaptation, and resilience. The myths of total ignorance and cultural collapse simply don't hold up against historical evidence. Now that you know the truth, how will you see history differently? Thank you for joining this journey through time. If you enjoyed this exploration, be sure to subscribe for more historical deep dives. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep uncovering the past.